options are Dominaria or M19. Let me know. Hey Sui, you fixed your mic yet? Let me know what you guys would like to see. Oh yeah, the worm does everything you want from a big dumb fatty. Exactly. He tramples. He's huge. He heals you when he comes into play, and he draws you a card when he dies. Like, oh, what a dude. What a worm. It's the type of worms you want. Roger that, Sui. $81% Dominaria. All right, sure. Quick draft Dominaria. Buy in. I think we get worse rate of return on quick draft than we do on the other one. So I seem to remember this card being absolutely batshit insane in draft. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of the equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary. Legendary if equipped creature is legendary, and the token gains haste. So it's really slow, expensive equipment, but it's insane for any sort of stalled board. It just generates a creature every single turn. I think she's quite good too, but I think I have to go with the bomb. This card just wins games on its own. So pick that up. Seems reasonable. A lot of good stuff in this pack. Blink of the Eye is very strong. This has some hilarious synergy with Helm of the Host. So if we ever get this plus a wizard plus Helm of the Host, we get to do something every single turn. Got a Cloud Reader Sphinx over here, which is pretty damn good. Just as a 3/4 flyer with a nice scry effect on it. And I'm not picking dub at this point, but it's okay. Copying works well with green. Copying works well with a lot of creatures. Anything with the battle cry effect, right? So we could copy a 3/4 flying Sphinx every turn that scries for 2. Seems like that'd be okay. Yeah. This is not the type of worm. This is, compare this worm to our last worm. The last worm was 7/7 trample. Heals you up for 7 when it comes into play and draws your card when it dies. This is a 7/6, 1 mana cheaper, no trample, no heal, no draw. Like, oh man. It's between Sphinx and Blink of the Eye for me, and I'll pick Sphinx, but it's close for me. Just a really premium flyer. Sylvan Awakening's kind of nuts. I fucking love Double Strike. I think this is probably going to be a Quendy.
A renewal. Welcome back.
This deck really, with these cards, already a strong flyer and a strong win condition. I don't mind stalling the board with really powerful first strikers and then picking up a win. Welcome back, 30ian. Do get the battle cry, pretty sure. So I think I'm going to take this dude. Moral to Genius. Totally decent. Not amazing. Unwind is shit. This bird, I like this bird less and less the more I play with him. Seems to be a lot of 2 damage removal in this format. I'm looking at you, Vicious Offering. I hate milling my fucking bombs. Like, I feel like in a lot of games you could say, like, honestly, removing 3 cards off top of your graveyard really isn't a big deal in most of the games you're playing, right? Like most games of Magic, I guess is what I'm looking at with that. Because your deck is roughly equal for all cards in it, except that's not true in draft. In draft, your deck is not roughly equal for all of those, because sometimes you just have a bunch of cards that are mediocre and filler cards, and one card that when you draw it, you win the game. And I actually find that a lot of the time this mills, not like it mills equally. It's not like it mills my bombs more often than not, but the impact of my bomb being milled versus the other cards in my deck is not equal in its impact. So I like the life gain on cast. I don't like its low toughness, and I don't like the fact that sometimes I just lose the fucking game. So I'm probably taking Emerald of Genius. I think it's okay. I don't think I'll play it a lot. Like, I mean, I think I'll play it in the deck, but I don't think I'll get to draw a lot off it, but maybe. All right. Soothsayer was decent for us. It's another first striker here to get benefits from this dude. We've got the Artificer's Assistant, and we've got a Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze is probably a removal spell, mostly. So let's grab it. Evoke the Divine. Thorn Elemental. Healing Grace. So I don't think I even mind main decking one of these. That could be okay. The Thorn Elemental is a big green dude. If we don't go white, could go blue-green with big dudes with our Helm. I think either are okay. Other considerations, the Omnivore, the Journey Mage, but pretty weak. Oh, it removes artifacts. It's nasty. I don't think we're playing green, but let's leave it open and grab the Thorn Elemental. Book the Divine or a Wanderer. Wanderer is a totally decent creature. The Druid's here too, which I like. There's no sideboard in this version because you just play best of one for each game. But Invoke the Divine can sometimes be a main deck. Opt isn't Horde. I don't think it's worth a card here. I mean, maybe it's worth a card. If I have some synergy with it, maybe. It's between these for me. This has more synergy for staying open, but I don't know if it fits what our deck's trying to do, although generating 5/5 Tramplers is definitely a thing that we would be happy to do. It is a historic. Blue and white both have synergies with historics. This card is a great card to stall the board early, and a great card if you are getting like picked down by flyers to buy you time. I really don't mind the Druid. I kind of like it. I like 2/3 a lot in Dominaria, much more than I like it in M19, where I think 1/3s are pretty damn good. I'm gonna grab the Druid. It's a dub, a Coldwater Snapper, Llanowar Envoy. I love the idea of some first strike synergy here. Palaka Worm was an uncommon in a ramp format. Oh my god, that must have been hilarious. So this is blue, this is white. I don't know if we're playing white yet. Still open for that. Let's grab the dub. I don't love enchantments, but I do love double strike with first strike. I think the turtle was fine too. I don't love 1/2s, don't love Compass. 2/2 Knight is kind of trash. We could run a Befuddle. Only color that I guess we're not playing blue necessarily either, looking at this. Although we have two really solid cards there. I'm going to grab the Befuddle. Shield of the Realm. I like the card. Don't know if it has synergy in our deck yet, but I don't think I'm playing black at the moment. These cards are all bad, so I'll take the Shield of the Realm. Tragic Poet versus an Unwind. I'll take the Poet, but I don't expect to play it. Unwind versus a Scholar. I'll take the Scholar. I don't expect to play it. Unwind. I'm just not going to play. I don't care how many times you offer me Unwind. I'm not playing it. Get it out of here. Eldest Reborn. A white bomb. I mean, 3/4 flyer with green synergies for 6. I do love Eldest Reborn, but I think this is Chalet, Voice of Plenty. Don't you feel like her artwork should be more busty if she's the Voice of Plenty? I don't know. I think there's synergies there that the artist missed. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 4/4 3/4 flyer for sure. But I'm trying to decide if I want green or white after that, or green or blue after that. Another Flying Angel. I guess this is a bird cleric, not an angel. But it's another rare white flyer. I think this one's quite a bit worse. We have no 2-drops. Oh, it's 3 or less. It's pretty fucking... 3 or less is a lot better. I think we're grabbing the bird. The Sphinx is the other consideration. I think the Sphinx is a better card than the bird. I mean, the bird, like, getting value in draft, it seems so fucking good. I think we'll grab this. We'll have 2s and 3s at some point. So we'll take the that card. And we now have a few legendaries, so we even if we don't pick up artifacts, we're still getting a historic value. So we're pretty solidly in white right now. We're probably in blue, but let's not overcomplicate the cards for blue. And we're maybe in green. Llanowar Elves are totally decent for us if we go green. I don't want to even speculate on red-black. Short Sword's okay. Grow from Ashes is pretty decent. Disciple has some stuff, sure. Not amazing, honestly, though, Sui. Like, I played 2 of these in a deck recently with 11 or 9. I can't remember if it was 9 or 11 historic cards, and I still found the card to be pretty lackluster. Growth for mana fixing. Kind of prefer Elves for ramp compared to growth for mana fixing. I mean, I guess Elves get eaten by that black 1/1. I don't think the Snapper's good enough here. I think I'm going to grab Llanowar. Still speculating on colors, though. I think we just got pushed off green. What do you guys think? They're on Sarah's. We don't have to take the Jin, but the 5/6 flying Jin seems decent. That card is fucking batshit insane. But I think it's probably still less good than the Jin. So I think we just hit blue. All right. Take the wings over the Jin. You think Sarah's wings is better than Jin? It's a 5/6 flyer. This card wins games. I mean, this card wins games too, but this card loses to removal, and there's a shit ton of removal in this format. Like a shit ton. Can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't do it. All right. It's another legendary creature. Sure is. We've got a 2/4 reasonable legendary, 2/4 vigilance, but I think we're going to take the premium removal. I'm going to take the Triumph and be pretty happy about it. Looks like we cut white. Take the Adamant Will. My favorite combat trick. I'll take another Sphinx. All right, we've got the late game flyers covered. We need some early game. Another Deep Freeze. Seems like early game. How good is this for us right now? Enchanted Permanent has hexproof. And if it was historic, draw 2 cards. I mean, that card seems slow and has no impact on the battlefield, but it's draw for if they ever kill any of our threats. I think it's still the Deep Freeze, but I'm a little tempted. What? Do I want Sphinx number 3, Blink of an Eye number 1, or Deep Freeze number 3? Can I have all of those? God, I think it's Blink of an Eye. Do I need another? I mean, we've got two Sphinxes, a Sphinx generator. And this card actually has a little bit less value. Oh no, the token isn't legendary. It says it in there, so I can duplicate my legendaries and the tokens aren't legendary. Holy shit. I was going to say it has less synergy because we drafted so many legendaries, but that's not quite true. I think I blink. Is it possible to take a blink over a Sphinx right now? Just keep putting 3/5 flyers out? Oh god, I don't know if I can get away from the Sphinx. I think I'm taking another 3/5 flyer. I think I'm with Sui on this one. I don't think either of these cards see play. I guess the disc is a little bit faster. Bounces our Helm of the Host, maybe. Syncopate, Tragic Poet. I don't think we're ever going to have mana to play either of these, but I'll take the Syncopate. Excavation Elephant versus Arcanist. I'm not playing 2 of those. I'll put the Arcanist in as desperation early game. All right, Urza's Ruinous Blast. All non-land permanents that aren't legendary. This is legendary. Half our board is fucking legendary. This is like a Wrath of God that only hits their creatures. Seems like I'm probably picking that. The Drake is nice. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Oh, thanks, Don. Nice to hear that. Do we want a Lance? Gives us first strike when attacking. Disciple. Cav. The Wizard. The Dean of Iteration. I'm gonna go see the Dean today. I'm not taking the Dean. My deck feels like it doesn't have a lot of mana sinks. It's, well, yeah. Yeah, we're getting some good cards in this draft. I'm a bit worried about the speed of our deck right now. We got 1/2 drop. And a couple kind of weak 3s. The Bond, just because it's another legendary. It's a 2/1 for 2. I guess it's between that, the Lance, and the Candle. Yes, Jousting does work with the double strike card. Only on the attack, but still. If we ever have Quindy, or anything really with this. Cav. I feel like when we start hitting 4, we've got better options than 2/2/2s. I think I'm going to take the Lance. It's fair. You can Dean of Iteration with Urza's Blast as a thing. I don't mind a slightly slower axe on flyers, though. That's tough. There's the point about this enabling blast is definitely a thing. 2/1 is just for starts. It's not even really just for starts. I mean, we'd have no other wizards. It gets like resummoned out of our graveyard all the time. Do either of these get play? Taking the Lance. It's close. 3/2 for 3 who taps people when I play legendaries. Seems like a thing. Doesn't trade very efficiently, but oh well. Blink of an Eye or a Journey Mage. The Journey Mage is probably pretty slow, but has some disgusting synergy. I think I'd rather Blink of an Eye, though. Second Blink of an Eye, second dub. I need creatures right now. Greeted some non-creatures. I want another dub. I think I'm taking another dub. Tempest Jin versus a 1/3 legendary human rogue versus another trapper. Seriously. I don't know. Versus board the Weatherlight's not even bad here. I don't know what to pick here. I think I just need to have 3-drop creatures, but I have 3-drop creatures, right? I've got 2 scholars who are getting play. I think maybe the trapper is good here. I think this card's great, but I'm not, 3 blue seems very, very slow. Like, we're not going to have 3 blue most times until 4 or 5. And you take the 1/3. Have no 1 toughness creatures or 1 power creatures. Or rather, I have 1 of each. I don't think 1/3s trade for much of anything in this format, where I think 2/3s do. I think it's the 3/2. Amazing dub curve target for curve and defense is something. Is another legendary creature that summons lets us activate Urza's Blast. I'm okay with that. The 3/2 is going to trade, but it's going to trade 1 for 1. We might get 2 for 1 out of that, maybe. Sarah Disciple or Blink of an Eye. I probably need the early creature. Or Relic Runner. Early creature, better than the other shit. Probably not playing it still. Excavator versus the Wanderer. Don't need late game. Take it, but I'm not playing it in all likelihood. The Dean has wheeled versus another Sarah Disciple. Opt to be an option. Sure, it's not going to get play though. Yeah, it's probably Dean here. Arcanist, Divest, War Chief. War Chief. Snapper. Drudge. Alright, deck is slow. That's the problem with this deck. Powerful, but slow. Alright, Tragic Poets getting cut. On the top end, I think we're going to lose the Snapper. I think I'm losing Syncopate. I have lots of mana cards that I'm going to be playing in the mid game. I think the Elephant gets cut. Scholars are my blocking meat. Quendi, unfortunately, didn't get a lot of guys. I have 2 dubs. I guess there's some value out of that, but... And he's just another legendary to activate the Wrath of God effect. Befuddle leaves me a little bit unexcited as a reactive card. It's pretty mana intensive. I'm not too excited about Jousting Lance in here. I know I have First Strike synergies, but I think it's too slow. Got a lot of these bad 1/3s. One of these legendary. The Arcanists are very unexciting to me. This is the Excavator, although I'll think about it. Disciple at least has some value. Adamant Will is fine. Triumph to Gerard is good. It's too bad we don't get to play green with. I've never seen Shalaya here ever use the +1/+1 token thing. It's kind of funny. I've seen her played a lot, but I've never seen the token thing come out. We just cut a bunch of creatures, and we cut a bunch of low drop creatures. We're at 14 creatures right now.
Quitters never win.
Welcome back, Fendawolf.
Bonjour, Mr. Robot. Hope your week is going well. It's been 4 months already, less than 3.
Less than 3 to you too, man. I'm thinking the Disciple here. Or possibly the Relic Runner. I mean, I can hit him for like 2 every single fucking turn with this deck. With that. You think I should mill them down?
You have returned.
Welcome back, Sea Snake. Thank you for the 33-month resub. Hype, 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 indeed. I would like 1 and 2 drops that trade or trade up, I suppose, clogging the board. I mean, I could, for example, drop the Dean, the Relic Runner, and the Fugitive to throw in 3 1/3s. Having a couple 1/3s is decent. Having 1/1/3 is not so decent. If I drop the Disciple plus the Relic Runner as a non-legendary and threw in Excavator and Arcanist, we've got some weak 1/3s. I don't think I'm willing to play the where if I can go the Arcanist, but I might be willing to play the Disciple. Okay. What are you talking about? Weren't you just talking about how Mill is more effective in draft? Nope. I wasn't. You have me confused with somebody else. I was talking about how self-mill is something to include in a deck with a few bombs. Certainly is painful. I don't know if it has the same argument this way. I guess if their deck is running on bombs, if their deck isn't running on bombs, it's just running on consistent creatures, then the mill is totally useless. I'm definitely not excited about the Arcanist, and I have very few instants or sorceries, so it's almost totally irrelevant. We need to be cognizant when we're drawing our 1/3s if we'd rather they be 2 1s or not. Particularly the Excavator and the Disciple. These cards are questionable as shit right now for me. Oh, we're 1 card over, so we don't get both those cards anyways. Keeping the 3s. I'm keeping Double Dub. Double Dub seems... but I love First Strike, and it's tough to get away from that. I don't think a single 1/3 does anything for us. Let's drop the Excavator. I mean, it might tie up a 2-power creature, or might trade for some tokens. Is the Snapper good? Not really. Do we want 1/3 ground creature in blue? I mean, that is the other argument for that over the flyer, is that it's blue and our early game cards are all blue, so we'd really like to have blue on 2 and 3. Yeah. All right, we'll try the Excavator. Just think, every time we play this, think if you'd rather have the Disciple or not. Because the answer is probably going to be I'd rather have the Disciple, but we'll see. All right. So we're running 10 blue sources and 7 white. Is that reasonable? We have no double blues till 6. I think that could go down to 8 and 7. Or 8 and 9 rather. What is this deck called and what are we looking at? I mean, the 1/3 is a really promising target for a dub is the only other thing about that 1/3. We did put the 1/3 in. Because a 3/5 ground blocker is just obnoxious as fuck to get through with First Strike too. All right. I like it. Good with that.